winds are picking up again. Here we go. Here's another issue with the electricity going out. It looks like the mobile towers have possibly been damaged around here because there's no service. No service on most of my cell phones. One of them does. It's a Samsung. Probably operates on different frequencies or something. Maybe different cell towers. So looks like cell towers for most of the cell phones are out around here. So we're having a pretty fun time. Let's see how the wind is doing. Okay, here we go. 60,000 people out of power. We have our Harbor Freight 4,000 watt inverter hooked up to a old car battery with some jumper cables. Positive to positive and negative to negative. Yeah, it looks like it's working pretty good to charge up our cell phones when there's no electricity in the whole city here in DC. Let's take a look at the front of this. We've got the on-off switch here. Tell you how many volts we're putting out, we're coming in. We're not drawing a lot of amps, but we could probably plug in a light or maybe even a TV, a computer. Try plugging in the router, but looks like the cable company lost electricity at their end. So we can turn our end on, but they can't turn their end on. We got two plugs here. Got one of them plugged in to extension cord. And there we go. Emergency power unit. Okay, it's starting to get dark here, but fortunately we have enough power to power up our lights with our inverter here and our battery. So I'll try to plug the TV in a second. Okay, here we go. And so, what about if you like to drink coffee in the morning and your electricity's out? Here we got our power inverter, 4,000 watts, and our coffee machine. Yeah, we have an open plug here. Gosh, we can always add more plugs. But, see, we'll plug her in. And we will press go. Oops. Okay, I guess running the big light and the coffee machine might have been a little bit too much. Let's just try running it by itself. Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, maybe it is. Oh. Okay, so there's our generator charging our battery, and like I said, when it was running before, if I unconnect them, it's got about 14 volts on it, so that's what the battery's charging at in the car. When I have it connected up, it's about 12 volts, so it's actually running current to the battery. This battery's dragging it down because it needs to be charged up. This is a marine battery, deep cycle. So we'll let this charge for a while, and then we can bring it back in the house and have electricity again, charging it on our convenient portable generator that we have. There we go, our generator battery charger. Okay, so it looks like we're up to 12.11. And climbing, so let it charge for a while and see how that goes. Okay, so I kind of twisted the jumper cables to make sure the corrosion is making good contact, good contact through the corrosion. Now we're up to 12.15. So I believe that we're charging. So let's let it charge for a while and we'll check back later and see how that goes. Okay, we've been running this for about an hour now. Now we're up to about 13.30. I had to redo the contacts, so maybe it wasn't charging good before. There's corrosion on them. But looks like we're definitely charging now. So we'll let it charge for a little bit longer and see how that goes. Okay, we've had it charging for a while, and I just took the jumper cable off, and now we're about 12.84 volts, so things are looking good. Looks like the battery's getting charged up. Okay, here we are inside of our portable generator. And it turns out that my battery went dead on my other camera, so we actually have another inverter here. This is only a 350 watt inverter plugged into our cigarette lighter, and so I guess while we're charging up our big battery, we can charge up our small battery too for our camera, and there we go. Inverters are great, so we'll get everything charging while we're running this V6 engine with this great Ford Explorer. I think we're all set to go. Okay. We'll try the battery out a little bit later. Maybe we can get that coffee machine to work. It's charged up. Okay, so we've charged up the battery. Okay, so we'll just keep on talking. Okay, so we've charged up the battery, and now I guess we'll try to see if the coffee machine works again. Looks like we're maybe the jumper cables had some corrosion on them. We'll try it again. You can see the current going up. Still not quite enough. Okay, we've got some new jumper cables on here that aren't quite as corroded. So let's try this one more time. Looks like it's still not going to have enough power to do it. See the current going up. Oh, I can't quite get it started. Okay. So we cannot do the coffee pot on this inverter. Okay, here we go. So we got our space heater now. Let's take a look at our space heater. And we have it set on low up here. And we'll put it on 750 watts. Low. And maybe I'll crank it up a little bit. Oh. Okay, we overwadded the... So if we turn it up just a little bit, turn it up very slowly, maybe we can get some heat out of this thing. Turn it up very, very slowly. Well, anyway, it looks like it's still tripping out with this guy. These things take a lot of power. Although it does seem like it should be able to do that, because it says it's only 750 watts. And this thing is supposed to be capable of doing 4,000 watts. Maybe I don't have good connections on the wires or something, but it seems like it should be able to do this. It's not really quite. get enough power to turn it on. Okay, let's give this one more try. A new freshly charged battery. Okay. Looks like we're going up to about 80 amps at 100 volts, so that's about 1,000 watts. It seems like that should have been enough. It's a 4,000 watt inverter, but maybe it was damaged when I tried to hook it up to a 220 motor one time. So I'm not sure why it won't start up, but maybe it just doesn't have quite enough power for some reason. Anyway, it is good for powering other things, it looks like. So I guess if you need a real power, then you better use a generator anyway, or get a higher power inverter. Maybe this one was damaged, who knows. Okay, just out of curiosity, just want to see how much power this thing does draw. So we have it set on volt amps. Might be a little bit hard to see there because that stupid reflection. It says 0, 0. Let's try pushing the power. Okay, it's up to like 300, 600 watts, 600 volt amps, 630. Okay. So it seems like our inverter should be able to do that, so it's possible that I did damage it when I hooked it up to our probably multi-horsepower water pump at 220 volts. Or maybe it just really can't do the kind of power level that it claims it can, because it's definitely not above 4,000 watts. So anyway, I'm going to guess maybe it was damaged, but it seems like it shouldn't work at all. It just works at a lower amperage range or something, I don't know. Anyway, very interesting. 624 watts. Okay, so it should do it, but it's not doing it. Okay, so I had a theory that maybe that one battery didn't have enough current to supply the inverter with all the current that it needs. And so here we have our car, and it's running. So it's got the power from the generator plus the power from the battery, and it should be a good battery, big ass marine battery, and I think it's marine battery. Anyway, it's a big battery. And then we have it hooked up to our jumper cables to our inverter, and let's switch the inverter on, and we got our coffee pot, which should only take about 600 watts. So let's try to turn her on. Oh. Try it one more time. Try to turn her on. You can feel the car generator loading down, and it's still not able to start up, so I don't know. Okay, what I have been doing though is I've been cycling that power back on and off, and restarting the coffee pot, and I do see smoke coming out, steam coming out of the sky. We're getting up to about 80 amps, so it's possible. See, the thing's boiling a little bit, but the inverter keeps on kicking out. So definitely steam coming out of it though. So I think it should work better than this, but it looks like it may be possible if you're very persistent. Keep on starting the thing up and resetting it every time the inverter trips out. Anyway, see the steam coming out of it? So it is working to some extent. So you could brew your coffee. I think it should be doing better than this, but it's not. So not sure what the issue is. Okay, so further investigation, it appears that the batteries, even though they can be cold cranked to a very high currents for about 30 seconds, they can only put out about 25 amps continuous power. So this is probably why the coffee pot would start up for a while, and then the current would drop down to 25 times 12 is only a few hundred watts, which is it's not even that, is it? 25 amps times 12 volts, 250 watts, 260, 270, less than 300 watts, and the coffee maker takes about 600 watts. So we would probably need actually 2 or 3 car batteries in parallel to run the inverter at full power. So I guess that answers the question. So the inverter is probably working properly. And anyway, this is hopefully this helps. So if you have a power outage and you might need a few batteries to run your coffee pot or bigger things. Okay, so this is Dr. Janes, and thanks for watching.